लिटिल वुमेन एक ऐसा ड्रामा है जो मैं शुरू करने से पहले तो ज़्यादा सोची नहीं थी, बट आफ्टर आई स्टार्टेड वॉचिंग इट आई couldn't stop myself and I finished episode after episode despite the time crunch. So I guess it is something to recommend to anyone I meet right now. लिटिल वुमेन बहुत टाइम बाद साउथ कोरियन ड्रामाज में आई डोंट थिंक इससे पहले ऐसा कोई ड्रामा बना है. थोड़ा अगर आपने थोड़ा पैरासाइट मूवी अगर देखा है तो आई थिंक यू विल फाइंड सम सॉर्ट ऑफ सिमिलैरिटी among the both in things which I will discuss further in this video. But other than that, I don't think I have recognized anything like this before in Korean drama or cinema. So first of all, we will talk about three things here. We'll talk about what I tolerated, what I liked in this show, and what I loved. So first of all, we'll talk about what I tolerated. So what I tolerated was the extreme depiction of things and sometimes people who were involved in the show. For example, the characters of Won Sang-ah and Park Jae-sung. Both of them were sort of very extreme in their nature that I couldn't actually predict what they were going to do next. Although that was a nice thing that I couldn't predict what they were going to do next. It was quite annoying that they went to such extents for reasons that were not, appealing or very understanding to me. I mean, ki Park Jae-sang killed people without even thinking twice, and Won Sang-ah did many things which were quite questionable, because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but I wouldn't do that for no reason. Matlab, I understood where she was coming from in the climax, but for Park Jae-sung there was no explanation whatsoever why he did what he did, and I think it is very reckless of writers to project people as bad or villainish without any sort of explanation. It doesn't, it doesn't comply with how I think. I don't think people are rationally bad or anything. So that's something personal I did not like. What I liked in the show was the commentary on the class system throughout the show, which is something that happened in Parasite as well. There was symbolism, there were things which were not set out aloud. They were subtle to the extent that you could see them if you have watched Parasite or if you know about the class system. Like there is constant, from the characters of Kim Go-yoon and her sister, who was played by Nam Ji-yoon. Both of them constantly got worried about money and where it is going to come from. Nam Ji-yoon on the one hand was extremely, she always had to be on the right side and everything. But Kim Go-yoon was just desperate for it. She understood its importance, and sometimes she went on to extent that someone should not go in her place. Another thing which I really liked in Little Women was, if you have read the novel, you will find little similarities between the novel and the show, although there are not many similarities other than that it's just a story of women and three sisters basically. But Little Women, the book, I didn't quite finish it yet, but I think there were some similarities which were very appealing to me. Like Nam Ji-yoon's character was, I think it was based on Joe's character, and I loved that character. Like how Joe always was so ambitious and she always wanted to prove something to the world, that she is not ordinary, that she is not the expected woman. And Beth's character, who was a painter, who is in the show as well, the youngest sister, I really liked that. And how the eldest sister, who's Margot in the Little Women novel, she always wanted to get married. I love that she is divorced in this one, because I think, yeah, fairy tales don't last. So I really loved the premise of that show and the similarities with the Little Women novel. Other than that, what needs mentioning was the background score of the show, the cinematography, the introduction. If you see that animated version of the show Little Women, it was absolutely beautiful. The OST, the background score, I've been repeatedly talking about this. It was just so on point. It resonated with the, vibe of the show, with the taste of the frames. Everything was just beautiful. Which is not a new thing in Korean dramas or Korean cinema, right? Now I'm going to talk about something or some things which I absolutely loved. So number one, Choi Do Il. Oh my god, this man. I am absolutely in love with this man, which happens all the time when I'm watching Korean dramas. I am almost in love with all the male leads, but oh my god, this guy absolutely killed it. He's something called Hukum Ka Ikka. You know, I did not trust him at first. When I saw him, I did not trust him, I swear to God. But I grew up to trust him, to like him, and then to love him. I don't think there is a better explanation for any sort of love, right? So what happened is he is so I cannot explain it. He is just a hukum ka ikka. I don't want to spoil anything, but whenever things go down, he's going to be there, and you cannot expect what he's going to do. And he is absolutely stunning during the whole time. Another thing which I loved was the acting of all the actors. Of course, Nam Ji-yoon. I absolutely loved Nam Ji-yoon in this one. I think black hair suits her the most. I could not finish Suspicious Partners. I don't know, it didn't vibe with me. But in this show, she's absolutely stunning, and I love her character. Another thing which I loved was again cinematography and the frames. Other than that, the thing which stuck with me during this show was that it constantly gave you something, like you couldn't rest. It constantly fed you with something or the other whenever you thought that this plot is going to stick around, or this person is going to stick around, or this is going in a certain way which I don't like or not. Whenever you expected something, that did not happen. Okay. And because of that, you were constantly, on your toes all the time to know what is going to happen, how are the characters going to react, and everything. And also, you were constantly so attached with all these sisters. I don't know about other people, but I was so attached to this sister. I think because I also have a sister and we do not have a brother, so I was so attached to these sisters, and I wanted them to do so well in their life. But I also was afraid of the characters like Park Jae Sung and everyone. But I questioned the sisters all the time as well. But the character of Nam Ji-yoon was something that I very resonated with, and it stayed with me, and it taught me a lot. And this show, all in all, taught me a lot. So I think the best part of this show was that there's something urgent in every episode. So I will, applaud the writing team for that. They kept us waiting, and they did not let us, get bored also at the same time. So you can watch the drama on Netflix, and I have given this drama a 9.5 out of 10. I know I'm very gracious, but yeah, I absolutely loved this drama, and I deducted 0.5 mark because it did not made me cry as I thought it would. It was happy ending, and I'm happy that it didn't make me cry. But yeah, 0.5 for that. Thank you.